Hello, I'm Mike Gornell. Welcome back to my perfect playthrough of Pokemon Crystal. And last time we had duped and evolved our Nidorina and Nidorino into Nidoqueen and Nidoking. There they are. See? So we added 2 more Pokemon to our Pokedex, but we also cleared our second batch of trainers from our phone book. And now we are going to begin the third batch of trainers for us to battle. More like third and a half. And yes, this will be a much shorter episode than compared to the previous couple episodes. And the reason for this is actually because there are fewer battles that we have to go through. Even the previous episode was just 6 battles, but was still like 5 of them required 5 battles each, and 1 was out of the way and required 4 battles. Here, most of these trainers, all the trainers are congregated around Mahogany Town, and all but 2 of them, right here, and all but 2 of them, 3 of them have to be battled 4 times, 2 of them need to be battled 3 times. And Fisher Wilton is our first rematch on call. So yeah. This is a third batch of trainers, and it's basically 3 and 4 battles each. Which, by the way, makes it far fewer battles than what we had to go through the previous couple episodes. I mean, the first part was 35 battles, second part was 29 battles. Here it's 18 battles here, plus another 6 battles I will do later on in the episode. So, yeah. Hi, welcome. So, yeah, I'm just gonna continue to perform the Delight Savings trick in order to manipulate the Pokemon battles here. And yeah, Fisher Tully, not to be confused with Fisher Wilton. Fisher Wilton will give you... Forgot what he gives you on occasion, but Fisher Tully, formerly known as Fisher Chris. I think I mentioned it briefly, but I think the reason they changed Fisher Chris's name to Fisher Tully was so players would not get Fisher Chris confused with Chris, the male lead of Pokemon Crystal. I don't think you would get the name Ethan until Heart Gold Soul Silver as the default name. But Chris spelled C-H-R-I-S being one of the default names in Crystal pretty much warranted the name change from Chris to Tully here. And Keeper Vance. Anyways, Tully will give you Water Stones. Keeper Vance does not give you any items and will only rematch you to if he wants to battle you. Though he may say some pointless shit on occasion. I forgot why. I forgot what items what Fisher Wilton gives you in this game, because he doesn't let you know about Remerade's. He doesn't, call you about Remory swarms. Remory isn't even in the game. That's why I made the trades for. Why I did the trades the way that I did between gold and silver. It was to get the. The 6 missing Johto Pokemon into Pokemon Crystal. And Keeper Vance was defeated. So far so good. We battled all but 2 of the trainers once apiece, and the 2 trainers that haven't called for a rematch yet are on Route 43. Picnicker Tiffany and PokeManiac Brent. And speak of the devil, Tiffany. So yeah, we are gonna meet her on Route 43. Hopefully we don't get too many random encounters on the way. And I really hate this batch of episodes. This is like a 5-6 episode Not since we beat in Red and Gold and Silver do we have anything of interest happen in this episode. I mean, okay, the last 2 episodes of Gold and Silver were the wrap-ups as far as content was concerned. Picnicker Tiffany was defeated. And we're gonna fly down to New Barktown. Very easy. So, every single trainer in this facility have anywhere from 1 to 3 Pokemon. And another reason why this is going super fast. Every trainer within this city of Mahogany Town has anywhere from 1 to 3 Pokemon, making them very ideal thrash fuel. But none of them resist dark or normal type attacks. So if a trainer calls for a rematch, I can guarantee that I will either sweep through them with Thrash, or if they only have 1 Pokemon, I can sell for Crunch. Really good stuff there. Alright, Fisher Wilton sent out Goldeen. Man, this episode's so boring. So boring! 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 I'm so dull. So very, very dull. Boring! 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 Yeah, it's like that nostalgia correct review of the movie Junior, where he just sings a song about how boring the movie is. And I didn't need to do that. I'm so discombobulated at this point because when playing this game I was essentially multitasking, watching a bunch of YouTube videos, and actually honing my poker skills a bit. Watched a bunch of Daniel Negreanu videos and poker battles, basically studying his methodology and how to play, and trying to temper and modify my betting strategies. Paid off dividends last night. I came 2nd place in my tournament, and I was one of the most dominant poker players that entire night. But I've still got a long way. But I still got a long ways to go. I do think I'm getting really close to being a consistent contestant for the final table. Holy shit, I just went off topics talking about poker in a perfect playthrough about Pokemon. And then shortly after that, I went online and hit a straight flush. A straight flush. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I literally... Man, some of those online players, they will fight tooth and nail for the pots. Even when they have jack shit. Though the most annoying of those are the ones that go all in every hand, even when they don't have anything. And then a bunch of players go all in, even when they don't have anything. It's like, what? These people are morons. And it's not fun to play with a bunch of morons that just wanna go all in all the time. I mean, it's one thing when it's like 4 or 5 people left in the when there's like 3 or 4 people up left on the table, and you have a massive chip lead. Heck, I don't mind all pre-flop all-ins if you've got a really strong pocket pair. Or if you're base and you are on your last bit of chips and you need to just go all in right then and now. So yeah. I'm talking about poker in a Pokemon playthrough. That is how uninteresting this episode is. Picnicker, well, I will say though, is that Picnicker Tiffany will give you pink bows. Which are not polka dot bows, but pink bows like Tuscany Tuesday or Mary will give you. Fisher Wilton... Keeper Vance, I think, gives you a Carbos for beating him 3 times. Fisher Wilton will give you Water Stones on it. Give you Water Stones on occasion. Picnicker Tiffany will call you to give you. I think Fisher Tully gives you Water Stones. I think Fisher Wilton. And, PokeManiac Brent mostly give you pointers. And tips. Pointers, tips, and trivia. Picnicker Tiffany will give you, polka dot bows. Also, PokeManiac Brent is a real stalker. Anyways, we wrapped up Fisher Wilton. I forgot what he's supposed to give you in place of Remoraid Swarms, but since we've beaten him and we have 3 empty slots, I decided to fly out of Blackthorn City. Whoops, wrong path. I do that all the time. That's my equivalent of the J-Rose Ledge boss. And we get a random bat encounter right there. Now, I'm not gonna try to redo and manip all this to avoid random encounters, because I just hit the 3-turn thrash attack on Fisher Wilton for the 3rd and final. But man, this is so freaking annoying. But we got to Hiker Parry. Hiker Parry used to give us Meryl Swarms, but Meryl was upped up to a common nighttime encounter in Crystal version, so there was no need for Meryl Swarms anymore. In Kenji, I'm gonna get his phone number. So yeah, Kenji's thing is that Kenji will only challenge us to a rematch at a certain time of day. I did not know this going into this episode, but as it turns out, but Erin. Oh wait, Parry and Erin will give us items. Parry will give us, I think, calciums for being all three of her teams. Parry will give us an iron for being all three of his teams. And Picnicker Tiffany. But Kenji is kind of unique. He is the only trainer in Pokemon Crystal that will not be available for a rematch the majority of the time. So, Juggler Erwin will only call it to learn about what you've been up to that point in time. And generally will have absolutely no desire challenging you to a rematch. Beverly and Pokefans Beverly and Derek will no longer challenge you to a rematch either, but will give you nuggets on occasion. Black Belt Kenji will challenge you to a rematch, so we have to battle him 3 times and all that in order to get through him. But he can only be challenged from 12 p.m. to 12:59 p.m. as in lunchtime. The rest of the time he is training. It will be completely unavailable for a rematch, even if no matter how many times you call him and try to manipulate the RNG, he will just say, hey, it's nice, I'm training real hard. Anyways, gotta go now. So we're breezing through Picnicker Tiffany's team. We cleared Wilton's all 3 of Wilton's teams. And by the way, the reason why trailers from Route 44 onward still only have 3 teams, whereas every other team leading up to the Lake of every other Pokegear trainer leading up to the Lake of Rage have anywhere from 4 or 5 teams, is due to the number of story checks that remain. From Route 44 onwards, the last 2 checks are defeat the champion and return the machine part to the power plant. Those 2 things are the last story checks the last checks that the game looks at before determining whether to upgrade their teams or not. And there really isn't any further room for Route 44 for any of those trainers to update their teams any further. It's also why the number of teams drop off considerably from the Lighthouse onwards, because the only meaningful story checks are the Rocket Hideout, the Radio Tower, the Elite Four, and the Machine Part. So just 4 of those. And the Radio Tower and the Rocket Hideout aren't back to back. And we got our first match with Brent. Now, PokeManiac Brent is probably... Now, there is another something about PokeManiac Brent that is unique. He is the only trainer, he is the only Pokegear trainer who completely changes his team upon further rematches. And in Gold and Silver, his team just gets swapped out for another PokeManiac's team, but updated and evolved. Like, he gets that trainer's teams, update teams for some reason. But in Pokemon Crystal, he will, his first battle, well, we'll see what his first battle is real soon. So his first team right here is a Lickitung. It is actually the same Lickitung he used the first time we battled him. And again, the reason why when rematching these trainers, their first teams are so pathetically weak is because it's the same teams that we battled previously when we first battled them. And in Gold and Silver, trainers will only update their teams after you pass the story check, and that's it. Which is why all their second teams are missable, and why I split up the rematches over the course of my entire playthrough between those two games. In Crystal, in addition to the story checks, you have to beat their earlier teams as well. And guess what? One of those that's what no trainer will update their team if you don't, until you make it further into the story. Therefore, their first teams you have to rematch again. So, PokeManiac Brent update has already called for a second rematch. And instead of using Lickitung this time, or the Nidoran line like in Gold Silver, he will swap out his Lickitung for a Kangaskhan. And he will continue doing stuff like this, swapping out one rare, exotic, normal type Pokemon that's far stronger than your average Rattata for another stronger than usual normal type. For another rare exotic normal type. I guess that makes sense. PokeManiac's gimmick is they highly value rare and exotic Pokemon above all else. So third team with battle with PokeManiac Brent. Will it be this entire episode up until recently, PokeManiac Brent refused to call us. And now he's calling us 3 times in a row. But we still have one more team battle with PokeManiac Brent to go. So how do I keep track how many times I was able to beat each trainer? Actually, I just put up a list of trainers with their trainer names and their numbers in route order, and every time I number them up 1 to 3 or 1 to 4, 1 to 5, and once I defeat team number 1, I erase that number, and then number 2, number 3, so on and so forth. So he swapped out Kangaskhan for Porygon, and we've got one more battle with Brent before we're done with him. Can't wait to see what his final normal type, what his final swap for a normal type would be. But I do like I think this is our third battle against Tully. Our first 2 battles, all he had were Quillfish, and I think now he will add a Golding to his team. And like a role reversal of Fisher Ralph on Route 32. Yeah, you ain't gonna beat me. None of you are, because... Yeah, Golding, and it's a 2-team. And now it's a team of 2 now, so I gotta swap out Crunch for Thrash. And I don't want to learn Hyper Beam. No, sorry, Bob. Hyper Beam is powerful, but Tyranitar's plenty strong enough, and Thrash can hit 2 to 3 turns consecutively at the cost of 1 PP. And is mighty strong in its own right. I think base power 80. Oh wait, no, never mind. He has a team of 3 now. Does he? I thought he had a team of 2. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I was able to first try Tully with just Thrash. No confuse. But here is the final battle against Fisher Tully. And for sure it's gonna be a party of 3. Oh. So what am I gonna do after I finish filming? I'm probably gonna head back to the restaurant and sign up for another poker tournament. Fortunately, buy-in is free, but making 3 file tables in a 2-month period, coming second place in 2 of them, and tied for 7th the other. That's not bad if I do say so myself. So, yes, I'm taking my chances with 3-turn Thrash, but if I could do that 3 times against Wilton, once against Tully should be a cakewalk. Now, yeah. So you might be wondering, why do I have where did I take that 1 point of damage from, anyways? I forgot who, but I think I got hit with a quick attack. Either in this episode or the previous episode. Actually, I think it would be this episode because of Keeper Vance. Right, because Keeper Vance has 2 Pidgeotto and no quick attack. So we're done with Fisher Tully, we're done with Fisher Wilton. They're the last 2 fishermen in the game that we can challenge to a rematch. So, Keeper Vance, you're up. His file team is a team of Pidgeots. And I forgot how many, times I battled him. I think I battled him once, just his default team. So yes, Gold and Silver only checks for story checks. Pokemon Crystal checks for story checks and the number of times that you've beaten them. And they gave a ton of the earlier Pokegear trainers. All the trainers more than 3 teams this time around. And basically allowing all of them to battle each other on a much more even field. So that was Pidgeotto, so that clues me in that this is the 2nd team. Because I definitely know, and yep, see, that's how I took the damage, was from Pidgeotto using Quick Attack. And of course I used Thrash to deal with Vance's entire team rather quickly. So yeah, I'm going to continue swapping numbers. One more battle from Vance. Ooh, Hiker Parry. I wasn't expecting to get rematch offers already in this episode from routes 45 or 46, but sure, why not? It will save me some time. And shortly after this is basically when I came to the realization that Kenji, whenever Kenji were to call, he basically will just say, "Oh, I'm training now. Hear me. Here, take a listen to my workout." Anyways, gotta go. Busy. And that's because, Black Belt Kenji is only available to be challenged for a remake for 1 hour per day. So yeah, I'm just gonna spam Crunch because I do believe Onyx is bulky enough to withstand a Thrash attack, and it's just Onyx by himself. So Crunch should hit his weak special defense for a relatively little without much of any resistance. And this is the third and final battle against Keeper Vance. So alright, we're done with the trainers of routes 42 and 44. Shenanigans notwithstanding. I think I still have 1 or 2 more battles with Tiffany. And 1 more battle with Vance. Oh, the Keeper Vance like the battle. And Tyranitar use Thrash. Alright, and there it goes. And luckily, Keeper Vance keeps only 2 Pokemon the entire way. So Thrash is guaranteed to go off without a hitch. So, yep, he's one of those trainers that gives you an item after beating him a certain number of times. Carbos. Oh! Oh yeah, let me check my notes real quick. Alright, so we're getting another rematch with Hiker Parry right here. And again, I think it's around this time I start getting calls from Black Belt Kenji during my save states. And that's when I realized Kenji will not challenge us to a rematch under any circumstances because he keeps saying the same thing over and over again. I looked it up. I looked up Bulbapedia Pokegear. I looked at list of trainers. Alright, so Wilton. So Fisher Wilton will actually call to let you know, well, to hand you various different Pokeballs. Whereas Black Belt Kenji on Route 45 will only give away a PP up every 2 to 5 days if it's in the afternoon. And will only challenge us to a rematch if we call him between 12 PM and 12:59 PM. And speaking of the devil, it looks like we're gonna wrap up Picnicker Erin. I think we battled her twice already. No, 2 or 3 times. So yeah, I did some luck. You know, Kenji will give you a PP up every 2 to 5 days at random. It can only be battled for one from 12 PM to 12:59 PM every day. The only trainers that don't give you the only rematch trainers that don't give you anything that are literally of zero benefit to you in Pokemon Crystal, other than the experience, are Picnicker Liz, Schoolboy Jack, and PokeManiac Brent. Even then, Brent kinda has the unique feature of swapping out his lead team, and all 3 of them actually give you pointers and bits of trivia to help you out. So yeah, this is our first battle with this is our first trainer with Erin. So I got Erin confused with Tiffany for a second. But it turns out I was wrong that my Erin will give us calciums after beating her 3 times. Parry gives us iron after beating him 3 times. Vance gave us a Carbos after beating him 3 times. And if you must know, we got proteins from beating Sailor Huey 4 times. And youngster Joey gave us an HP up after beating him 5 times. By the way, in Pokemon Crystal, these are one-time prizes, which essentially make them side quests in Crystal version. So yeah, this is our final battle against Hiker Parry, I believe. Yeah, that's 3 times that he has a Piloswine. And honestly, I don't feel confident with his Steelix in the back burner. So I'm just gonna spam Crunch a bunch of times, knowing full well he's not. Whatever he swaps into, I'm at least guaranteed to be safe. So Crunch twice. There ain't no way Dugtrio is faster than a level 75, soon to be level 76 Tyranitar. So yeah, in real life, the day is August 19th, 2024 right now. So yesterday was Sunday when I came 2nd place for the 2nd time in the poker tournament, and today is good. And today and tomorrow will be in real time will also be poker nights. Alright, and now we are finally gonna bring PokeManiac Brent's story to a close. And by the way, the 12 p.m. to 12:59 p.m. is in-game time. Not real life, obviously. Went the wrong way, and fuck. Yeah, it's been so long that I forgot where I was supposed to go to rematch this guy. And I swapped out his Porygon for a Chansey, his final Pokemon. And by the way, Chansey is an absolute gold mine of experience points. So if you're looking to quit, so if you're playing this game's, if you plan on playing through this game completely straight and honest, as in no glitches, and you don't want to rematch the Elite Four over and over ago, rematching Brent over and over again with the XP share is a fast, effective way of leveling up and evolving a ton of Pokemon. But anyways, I use Thrash due to Chansey's monstrous special defense and HP stats. And now it's Picnicker Erin's turn. I believe she is the last of the Mahogany Town trainers left for us to fight. So what I'm gonna do here is... No, wait. So yeah, we are gonna... I'm actually gonna go ahead and heal up at this Pokemon Center. So I could turn Blackthorn City into a teleport spot, into a teleport point. While we go ahead and rematch Picnicker Erin for the second time. We're completely done with the Mahogany Town trainers, as we have played through all four of Tully, Brent, and Tiffany's teams, and all three of Wilton and Vance's teams. And we also cleared out all three of Hiker Parry's teams. So this will be the second rematch. This will be the second match against Picnicker Erin here. And man, what a massive blow up in terms of level compared to the first time we fought her. The reason for that is because Game Freak pretty much assumed that players could very likely stumble upon Route 46 by mistake, early on by mistake, and get into battles against two otherwise late game trainers. So their first teams are at freakishly low level compared to all the trainers on Route 45. However, for the second teams, the glow up occurs because her first story check to update her team is with the Elite Four. And now that this is her third team, I'm going to go ahead and head on over to Kanto. Though I could probably do a few exciting things straight away, like trade my 18 Silver Aerodactyl, I think I can save that for the very next episode where I'm not likely to make a mistake. Meantime, I'm gonna cut through these two patches of grass. Perfect, 0 encounters. And I'm gonna collect all 4 of these remaining trainers' phone numbers. And it's worth knowing is that you've got cool trainers Beth, Gavin, and Rena, whose numbers we need to get, plus Birdkeeper Jose. Birdkeeper Jose will give us star pieces on occasion. And instead of handing us the items after beating them enough times, or handing them off as gifts, to hand us over for on occasion. Their gimmick is that the cool trainers all gave their ace Pokemon held items that you can steal off of them. For example, cool trainer Beth gave her Rapidash a focus band that you can steal. And Rena here gave her Neo Queen, I believe, a pink bow for some reason. I mean, which is definitely the worst hell item of the bunch, because you have Picnicker Tiffany who hands out pink bows for free, and you don't have to battle her or use Thief to steal the item from any of her Pokemon. She'll just give them to you. And Cool Trainer Gavin actually gave his Kingler a King's Rock in order to force flinches. Get it? Get it? Because the Pokemon with King in its name, a Kingler, is holding a King's Rock. The fact that King's Rock is supposed to make Pokemon flinch, and Kingler is super slow. Anyways, he got all 4 numbers from routes 26 through 27. So, time to teleport back to the Pokemon Center, and we're gonna finish up our battles with Pokefan Erin, Picnicker Erin, who in addition to leveling up her 2 Ponyta even further, adds a brand new addition to her team that wasn't there previously in Pokemon's Gold and Silver. However, I just need to because it's a party of 3, all I need to do is use a save state and end up a 3-turn Thrash no matter what. Unfortunately, because it's not anywhere in the 12 PM range in game time at this point in time Pokemon Crystal, I will have to cut the Route 45-46 session a little short. And to be honest, I will need to make this a Wednesday. I will have to change the time of day to a Wednesday anyways, because not only so I could properly rematch Kenji the 3 times going forward, but also to set up a couple of in-game events that can only happen on a Wednesday, or that can only happen on Mondays and Wednesdays, and another which can only happen on Wednesdays. So all comes together at the end. So that's the last rematch of the day, and Picnicker Erin will give us a calcium for beating her 3 times. In Heart Gold, Soul Silver, they'll give us those items as reward on occasion. So we delete her number. We just have these 5 numbers left. Kenji, I definitely need to figure out. I'm definitely gonna have to work around that. So that's it. Next time we are going to wrap up the Pokegear trainers and battle all 3 of their remaining teams, and then we are going to do take care of the last remaining loose ends in Kanto. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Mike Gordon sign out.